Hello everyone, first of all I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Ishant Insight. Friends, in this video tutorial we are going to learn about Python basics, some basic concepts, what are the essential concepts that you must know while you are learning Python. So let's start without wasting time. So here I have prepared a PPT here that will help you to understand Python in a short way. The first thing is that what is actually a Python? So Python is simply a open source high level interpreter based programming language is there. Now what does it mean? It's free of cost, and since it is high level it means it is human readable. Whatever the commands that you are writing, whatever the things that you are doing, it is actually understandable, it is easily readable. So in this way we can simply say that it is a high level language that helps us to write complex programs. So let's move to the next question, and one more thing here, why do we use? So it is generally used for both scientific and non-scientific purposes. Suppose that we are talking about the data science, so it is one of the most essential language to be learned. Nowadays it is most common that we have a data science sector or data science field, and Python plays a very vital role in data science. Now, what is the usage of Python programming language or simply Python language? So we have several fields like software development is there, then web development is there, then scientific computing, big data analysis, AI and all that are there. Web development in the sense that you can also create websites using the Python. They have their frameworks like Django, then say Flask. These are the most famous ones by which we can develop the websites. Now let's try to understand what actually a program is. So a program is nothing but an ordered set of instructions or commands. Simple line. So what do you mean by programs? It is nothing but the ordered set of instructions or commands. Let's move to the next question. Who and when Python was developed, or when Python was developed, or by whom it was developed? You can simply say that. So it is a popular programming language, we already know. It was created by Guido van Rossum. He is a scientist, computer scientist from the he's a British computer scientist in simple words, and he developed the language in 1991. So what is the other name of Python interpreter? So it is also known as Python shell. Python shell is the another name for Python interpreter, so don't get confused. So when we open the official software, say the IDLE, okay, what is the meaning of Python prompt? So when you use the IDLE, you will find the three arrows symbol. Basically this three arrow symbol is known as Python prompt. Python prompt. This three arrow symbol is known as Python prompt. Okay, that simply indicates that the interpreter is ready to receive the instructions. Then how many modes Python have for the execution? It has two modes. The first one is the interactive mode, while the second one is the script mode. Now let's talk about interactive mode. So interactive mode is actually very efficient for testing the codes in a single line. Just give the input, press enter, and you will get the output instantly. There is no need to save the file and then execute the program. Now what is the drawback of interactive mode? It is that we cannot save the statements for future use. Okay, and if you want to use it, you have to retype it. What is the advantage of script mode? So basically script mode is used for writing complex programs that have a huge lines of codes. Okay, when you save a Python file, you have an extension of .py extension. Say your file name is say home. So when you are saving a file in a script mode, it will be saved as home.py. Okay, and these types of files are known as scripts. Simply you say it as a scripts. Now let's move to the next question. What is IDLE? Write its full form. So basically the IDLE is an inbuilt editor. It is an inbuilt editor of the Python that is used to create the programs. And what is the full form? It's integrated development and learning environment. So it is the full form of IDLE. Please make it sure this type of questions are generally asked in the examinations, not only in examinations but in interviews also it is asked. So it can be a good question for you. Then what is keyword in Python? Are they case sensitive? So obviously keywords are the basic words those are the most important words. They have a reserved meaning. Okay, and every keyword has a reserved meaning. That is a meaning to the Python interpreter. And these are case sensitive. It means you cannot use this letters in your programs as for your personal use, as they are already defined. Okay, and the keywords are written and you have to write it as it is given in the Python terminology. Say for example, if else is written there, ELSE, and it is in small letters, so you have to write it as it is. If you are writing for example, if you are writing while statement, so you have to write while in small letters as defined in the Python. So this is the example of what case sensitive languages and case sensitive words, you can say that. Then what are the identifiers? So basically identifiers are just variables, a kind of functions that are used in a program. Now what is the rules for an identifier? So it should be begin with the letter. It should be begin with the letter. It doesn't make any difference whether upper or lower case is this, but it should be begin with the letter, or maximum you can say it as an underline, or you can say underscore, you can say that, not underline, underscore sign. The first rule. Then second, it should not be a keyword. You cannot use if, while, else, etc. Then you cannot use the special symbols. Which special symbols? Like exclamation mark, at the rate, hashtag, dollar. You cannot use these signs. Then whenever you are creating a identifier, you cannot give a blank space or white spaces. Okay, so these are the general rules for an identifiers. Now let's move to the next question. What is expression? So expression is nothing but the combination of say constants, variables and operators. Suppose if I am writing here, for instance, if I am writing here 2 into 5 plus 6, plus 5, not 5, 6. Okay, and I am just enclosing it inside a bracket. So it is an example of expression. Then let's move to the next question. What is input function? Explain it. So basically when we are talking with respect to the Python, input is a function. And why do we use it? To take input from the users. Whenever the user is giving input, whenever the user is giving the input, it is generally considered as a string by default by the input function. So in order to convert it into the integer or int, you are required to use the int function along with it. For example, suppose if I am defining a variable, say age equals to input, input enter age. Okay, enter age. So basically what I am doing here, I am taking age as input, but by default whenever I am typing the values, say 21, 48, whatever the age is, it will be directly considered as a string values. So how we can convert it into integer? By using the int function. So I will be writing here int and then closing parenthesis for int function. So in this way, when I now enter any numeric value, it will be considered as an integer. So in this way we can understand Python input function. Now what is actually debugging? Let's come to understand this thing. The process of identifying and removing the logical errors and runtime errors. So generally in simple words, the process of removing the errors, identifying and removing the errors is generally known as debugging. What is if-else ladder? So if-else ladder is nothing but the statements that executes when the condition is true. If the condition is true, the inside loop, the inside of the if is executed, the inside block of the if is executed, else it will be gone to the other section of the block, that is the else ladder. Then let's move to the next. Why do we use for loop? So for loop is generally used for repetition, or simply say for looping or iteration. Suppose that you are talking for the table of 5, so 5 into 1 5, 5 into 2 10, and all that. So here a kind of loop is required. For that function we are required to use the loop, for loop. What are comments? Comments are nothing but the non-executable statements. In generally Python we use the hashtags for single line comments, and for multiple line comments we use the triple quotes. Say you are whatever you are typing here, say for example, this is a comment line. Okay, it's not going to execute. Okay, give a triple quote here. So these are the two things. This is a single line comment. Okay, it means this is a single line comment. This is a multi-line comment. You can say that multi-line comment. Okay, and it's not going to execute. So this is a simple example of comments. It is generally used for marking or making a bookmark, whatever the things that you are doing in a program, but they are not going to execute throughout the execution of the program whenever you are going to run the programs. Now, why do we use if statements? It's simply used for decision making. So these are the general basic concepts that we have learned in this tutorial, and these are very, very important basic concepts that are generally asked in the examinations, interviews, and all that. So I hope this video found helpful to you. If you found it helpful, please give a thumb. This is all about for this video. Till then, thank you. Have a great day ahead. God bless you all. This is Ishant signing off. Thank you.